everybody, this is a Doc again from Stogie Fresh, and I've been asked to talk a little bit about how to store individual cigars within your humidors. The background of that story is the fact that when you have cigars that do not have cellophane wrappers and you put them in contact with other cigars, the oleoresins that are on the surface of the wrapper, which carry a lot of the flavor and aroma particles, can sometimes then mix if they're in direct cigar-to-cigar contact, and that's only a problem or important if the cigars are very different in their types. If you're storing same cigars together, well, you know, that's not a problem. Of course, it's easier if you have a humidor and you're purchasing cigars by the box, because you always keep the same cigars of the same type within their own boxes, and so they have their individual microclimates. But when you have individual cigars in a desktop humidor, it can present some problems if you have really light cigars in contact with really heavy cigars, and you don't want those flavors and aromas to mix. So the question then is, what do you do about that? Well, the things that I do, for one, is I save a lot of stuff. I save a lot of these Spanish cedar dividers that come in humidors, or sometimes you'll get Spanish cedar boxes that you can take apart, and you have the cedar dividers. What you can then do is, in your desktop humidor, is use these dividers to separate cigars of different types. You can separate them horizontally. You can also separate them vertically by using these placement of these horizontally and then other layers of cigars. Or you can use these things that sometimes come in boxes of cigars, real thin Spanish cedar sheets. And you can use these, you can cut them with scissors to the right size, and then use them to also further divide the humidor. The other thing you can do is to save various cigar tubes. And I try to save these cigar tubes, and what they do is they make a great seal for individual cigars. So if you save up a bunch of them, a lot of times these tubes will come with a piece of Spanish cedar on the inside. And what you can do, if you've had a different type of cigar in there, is take this out, flip it the opposite direction, and stick it back in. And that way you won't be using the same side of it, or simply take another piece of this kind of stuff, cut it, and put it inside the tube. But tubes are great to have, because then they will protect single cigars from, you know, the mixing oils and aromas. The other thing you can do is, with this type of stuff here, just the very thin Spanish cedar, is you can take a cigar like this that doesn't have cellophane, and you can cut off pieces of it, or tear off pieces of it, so that it will work for a particular cigar, like this one, and simply roll it up in there, take a piece of tape, like that, and tape it. And put a couple of pieces of tape, and now you have something that looks like that, and again, it protects the cigar that's inside there, and then you could put these together in your humidor without having that surface-to-surface contact. Of course, the other thing you can do is use the cigar wrappers, like this one. These little plastic bags that come with your cigars. If you have cigars, especially ones that don't have cellophane on them, and you have several of them you want to keep together, use the plastic sacks, stick them in here, and then stick them inside your humidor. Of course, the cellophane wrapper is one of the best things to use if you have a lot of singles of a variety of different kinds of singles. Make sure you just keep the cigars in their cellophane, because the cellophane, even though it is breathable and will allow some oxidation to move through, really protects against that surface-to-surface contact of the cigars, so that you don't transfer the very different oils and oleoresins and aromas that are carried in the oleoresins across your cigars. Well, that's it for this one. Thanks again. I hope to see you again next time. You take care.